Top of morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. If you guys just quickly smash that like button and we will go straight over to those charts. So 4 hour time frame first. You can see we've got that 4 hour 9. I was looking for a pullback off that, as I was saying in last night's video, and we were aiming basically to back test this resistance, old resistance as new support, which we did. Obviously we're still hanging around this zone, so we could still play this range out a bit longer and potentially have some wicks below here. But yeah, I was looking at this trend line to be tested at some point. Doesn't have to be now. It can obviously be along here when it will be at the support zone. So maybe we do play out this area, get some moves up above, and then actually come down and test it here. But yeah, it's kind of what I'm looking at. Nice to see the move off the 4 hour 9, because obviously we love the TD over here, and yeah, we know how good it is. We know how good it called the bottom here, and it is, well, so far it's called this temporary top now, but obviously it doesn't have to be the top. As you guys will know how we trade the TD, we'll be looking for basically continuations once we trade above this 9. So basically anything above, well, just over 9,600, and we'll be looking at continuation to the upside after obviously having a 1 to 4 candle correction off that 9 candle. So let's have a look how the 12 hour is looking. Yeah, not looking bad. Another couple of candles into a 9, so I would potentially expect us to have a test up here, up to around this zone, maybe even break through, and then we will have to look at some larger, some corrections based off the 12 hour. The daily's still quite far away though from the 9, so yeah. So really what we've had is the 4 hour 9 causing maybe this little bit of a pullback. We then potentially will carry an upside, have the 12 hour 9. Cause a little bit of a pullback, and then ultimately we'll then have the daily cause a little bit of a pullback after also having the weekly, which caused its pullback, its weekly 9 here, look, which was the top here. But I mean, on the weekly time frame, obviously we have still got 2 days and 14 hours left to go. But if we close this candle anywhere up here, and well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but anywhere over here, then this is going to look incredibly good off this weekly time frame. And we're also going to be turning these weekly Stokes back up as well. So that is obviously was my main fear at the moment, was the weekly Stokes, and what that could potentially foretell to the downside. So yeah, look, while speaking of the weekly Stokes, so you can see starting to look like we're going to turn back up. Over to the 4 hour then. 4 hour Stokes turning down, so that was another thing we were looking at last night, these 4 hour Stokes coming down on the 4 hour 9. It was pretty certain in my mind, nothing certain in trading though, but that we were going to see a pullback at least to the resistance, which we've got so far. 10 hour Stokes looking to cross down, 12 hour Stokes looking to cross down, daily Stokes plenty of juice in the tank, 2 day Stokes plenty of juice in the tank, 3 day Stokes 20 of juice in the tank, and weekly Stokes looking like they don't have as much juice in their downside tank. So yeah, I mean, so like we were saying last night, realistically, play out some downside short term, but everything's still looking really bullish long term. And I don't know if it is a bit too premature to start drawing a trend line like this, but we will do for the time being, and then we can see how it plays out. It's just an experimental trend line. We'll just move it this way a little bit. Experimental trend line. Maybe we're sort of forming a mini hyperwave. So we had this trend line and we're following upwards, then we're going to follow this one upwards, and then we'll follow we'll follow a parabolic one. If we zoom out here, it won't look as bad. Maybe that's what's going on. But that being said though, we've got a good chance realistically of actually breaking below this support again, and it'll be a case of where do we get picked up in this zone, or do we come all the way down. But so far as where do we get picked up in this zone, I do think this trend line is a good shout. So yeah, not too much other than that to say about Bitcoin this morning. Obviously, just we're bullish until we aren't now. Trend is your friend. So yeah, let's just hope we can get hope the larger time frames can either hold us up or push us up, regardless of what these shorter time frame pullbacks are looking at. And hopefully we've got a got a nice 10k busting move in our immediate future. So thanks for listening, guys. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will catch you guys later on today with our Binance update.